On today's video, as you've seen with the title of this video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on basically untraditional ways of making it to 10 years. Yes, I've been married for 10 years. On Sunday, it's going to be the 11th of July. We will be celebrating our 10-year anniversary with Sam, and it's unreal, guys. I can't believe how much time flies. I'm not going to say when you're having fun, because it's been a lot of fun, a little bit of ups and downs, but life has been good. You know, I feel so blessed. I feel a sense of, I'll probably say achievement. I don't know if that will be the right word to use. But when we started this journey, or when we got married, I knew I was getting married for life. But you know, these days, some things happen. Sometimes people don't stay together for whatever reason. So I thought it would be so nice to do this video for you guys and share obviously my 5 tips on how we've sort of like got to the 10 years. These are not traditional methods or traditional way of thinking, or what people expect you to sort of like do when you're married. But as they say, sometimes we all have different sort of like lives and different ways of doing things, and these 5 things have actually worked for me and Sam and our marriage. I did do obviously a video about how we met. I'm not going to go into that, so I'll just get straight into the 5 tips. So the first tip that I'm going to share with you guys is, do not lose who you are when you are married or when you get married. The problem that happens with a lot of people is, once they get married, people want to try and change who they are, and sort of like, which then becomes hard to maintain, because if you're doing things for the sake of, oh, I'm a wife now, or I'm so and so's wife now, or I am, I'm a married woman now, it starts becoming a problem or a challenge, like to keep up with whatever mold you're trying to sort of like fit yourself into. So basically, don't change who you are, just stay true to yourself, because whoever, if it's your husband or your wife that you're doing this for, is probably not going to work, because the reason they married you for who you were before married, or who you are before you guys before you get married to that person. So the best thing to do is just stay as yourself, just be you, and that will go in a long way, because then you don't have to keep up the appearances. You don't have to try and be somebody that you're not. I hope that makes sense. Tip number 2, I will probably give an advice of making sure that you give each other space. A lot of married couple, they believe that once you're married, you have to do everything with your partner. I'm not talking about, dinner dates and a bit of traveling there and there. Just because you're married, it doesn't mean that you are one. Yeah, maybe spiritually or however you want to see it, it means you one, but you still got your own life to live. Your partner, still got, or your spouse still got their own life to live. So if you're gonna now start, like, if let's say your husband plays golf, now you want to start playing golf with him, or he's into cars, now you want to start doing whatever he's doing, it might come across as being too much for him. You gotta give each other sort of like space to do their own things, still enjoy their own stuff that they enjoy to do. Unless if you both agree that, okay, these are the things we're gonna do as a couple, and you both happy with that. And if you are not happy with it, just say, I'm not happy. I want to continue doing my own things. A good example I will give, which I've mentioned before, it's the one thing that obviously I do a lot of traveling, and sometimes I will go with my kids and Sam, but when I want to go traveling with my girls or by myself, I tell him, and he knows where we stand, because I still want my space. Just because I'm a mom and a wife doesn't mean that we have to be on each other's toes. And I just feel like a lot of couples, obviously, they do try and force things. You shouldn't force things, when you're together. Give each other space. Don't push when you're not supposed to push. I hope that one makes sense as well. And tip number 3, which is almost as similar to tip number 2, but it's not, if you get if you understand, or if you get the grasp of what I'm going to say next, is don't change your character. I've seen a lot of people, when they get married, they suddenly change, because now they're wives or they're mothers. There's different ways of changing. Obviously, once you're married or once you're a mom, there are certain things which you might not do, not because you can't do them, but sometimes it just works that, oh, I'm a mom, I can't do that anymore, because you have to lead by examples. Same as when you're married, you'll be like, oh, you know what, I can't really behave in a certain way because I'm a married woman or I'm a married guy now. So mostly some of the things you were doing when you were single, you wouldn't really do when you are married. But in terms of the character, if you are a person who loves doing certain things, for an example, like you do love your red wine, that'll be probably a very strange example to give, but I'll stick with it. Let's say you love your red wine. Probably the only thing you are not going to do when you are married is to, if let's say when you were single, you used to drink your red wine and then you'll be dancing on top of the tables, taking your bra out, there's funny things you do when you're single. I know there's a lot of things you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I used to do that. And you dance on the tables or certain things. You wouldn't want to do that when you are married or a mom, you know what I mean? But you will still enjoy your red wine, which means you can chill at home and have your red wine. You can go to an upmarket place like a bar and have your red wine without having to take your bra out. I don't know if that makes sense. So if you are a loud person who loves laughing and giggling, that's your character. You are a happy person. Doesn't mean when you're married you can't be doing that anymore. So don't change your character, because if you do change your character, you're going to become depressed. You're going to be sad because you are trying to mold yourself to somebody that you're not. And it's very hard keeping up with the appearances. What they say, keeping up with the Joneses. I think that's something like that. So yeah, just continue being the character that you are, because I bet you 100% one of the reason he put a ring on your finger, it's probably partially a part of your character as well. He loved that you are loud, you are bold, you speak your mind, you when you drink your red wine, you're funny, so don't try now and be like, oh, because I'm a wife, I gotta behave this way, I can't do that, because at the end of the day, you both might get bored or he might get bored. So stay true to who you are. Right, tip number 4, this is a very sensitive one, because either you can get it right or you can get it wrong, but I'll say it anyway. You don't have to combine your finances when you are married. The reason I'm saying this is some of us do get into the marriage for wrong reason. We might decide, I'm going to marry this guy because he's got money. Yes, he's got money, but it's not your money, it's his money. You might be the one as a woman who has the money, which means he might marry you for your money. So you got to protect yourself. You got to, listen, guys, we've seen things happen. We've heard things after the marriage, falls apart, where people start talking about, finances, or it's embarrassing. So the best thing, or even you go without, having money, and then we realize that, oh my goodness, so this person was like this because of the husband's money. So the best thing to do is have a talk with your spouse how you're going to deal with your finances. It's a very important talk. What he brings in when it comes to the marriage and what you bring in, you decide. There's different ways now of getting married. Some people, like myself, are married in community of property. Do yourself a favor. Before you get married, look at the laws. What are the laws saying about getting married and what happens to finances, or or whatever you two might have, you might bring to the table, because there's nothing as sad as not knowing what the law says, and then the marriage falls apart. You get big surprises. So don't get big surprises. Don't be surprised, when the marriage fall apart. But just before you even get into the marriage, talk about the finances, look into the reason, because statistically, a lot of the failure of marriages is because of the it's because of the finances, it's because of money issues. So make sure you cover yourself. And then last but not least, don't let your marriage prevent you from achieving your goals in life. Right. As soon as people are married, they think it's the end of the world. They think, oh my goodness, it's the achievement I've achieved. Marriage is, I'm sorry, but that's my beliefs. Maybe some people believe differently. They believe marriage is an achievement. I think otherwise. And you might think maybe I'm wrong. That is, fair enough. I've got my reason why I'm saying marriage is not an achievement, So once you're married, do not let the marriage stop you from achieving your goals, whether it's a career goal, whether it's a life goal, whether it's a traveling goal, whether it's a goal of just happiness, of anything in life. So yes, you still got your marriage, you're still going to put it into your marriage, or work, because marriage is hard work. Yes, you put in some work. What you put into your marriage is what you get back, basically. But don't, as an individual, don't let marriage, stop you from achieving your goals. If you want to finish a degree that you never finished, go for it. If you have a traveling goal for a year or whatever, go for it. Just speak to your partner and probably, find ways of how you're going to work around it without upsetting them. And I find that the biggest thing which always creates problem is the lack of communication. If you communicate with your partner that this is my goal, this is what I want to achieve in life, I'm sure they're going to support you, because if you are happy, they are happy, and it's a happy marriage, and there's nothing that's going to stop the marriage from going. It's like both of you are pulling each other in different directions. You both going to be, he will know that my partner is doing this, or my spouse is doing this until this time, and you both gonna be happy. So I hope this video has obviously come in insightful for you guys who just got married, or who are thinking of getting married. You're gonna remember these things when you do get into the marriage. And if you obviously have any questions or any comment, leave them down below in the description box, and I'll be very, very happy to answer them for you guys. And I post videos every Wednesday, and like I've said at the beginning of this video, I cannot believe it's 10 years, like really 10 years, obviously, of marriage life. And I'm hoping for 10 years more, to come, or more than 10 years. But yeah, and that's all for today, guys, and I will see you guys on my next video.